The video games industry is one of the most innovative and fastest growing industries in the world. The men and women of this industry work tirelessly to provide entertainment for the masses, and some of these provide the music. Music that we love. Music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves playing those video games. Video games. Music that we love. Music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves listening to video games. Video games. Do we even know who these people are? No. Would video games be the same without them? No. What you are about to hear.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Average Giants. As I scramble to find the microphone button.
Good evening.
I am one of your hosts, the Average Gamer.
Are you?
I am. I'm pretty average.
Sweet.
People call me average. And I'm joined tonight by a new face, Big McLargehuge.
Big
How's it going?
Going swell. I can breathe today.
You
Whoa!
Can breathe. Good. That's not a thing that I want happening. What are we playing today, Giants?
Today we are playing Deadwood, The Forgotten Curse.
I've been excited for this game for a couple of weeks here.
But what curse is it?
What curse indeed, sir? And to answer that question, we actually have in chat with us some of the fellow devs from Steamroller Studios who are behind Deadwood. How's it going? How's it going, guys?
Hey, doing good.
Good. So do you want to take a second to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, my name's Adam Meyer. I'm the lead game designer here on Deadwood Forgotten Curse.
I'm Keith Lackey, the technical supervisor here.
And I'm Joel Sadul, I'm the creative director here.
It's a pleasure to have you guys on the show. I've been excited about the project for a little while. But before we jump into it, would you mind giving us like a quick synopsis of what Deadwood, The Forgotten Curse is?
Yeah, sure. So I'll give you the elevator spiel here. We got a lot of practice with this up at PAX in Boston. So let me just go into salesman mode here for a minute.
As Adam is doing this,
with the Forgotten Curse? Yeah.
As Adam is doing this, Keith and I will be lip syncing because we know it by heart.
Yeah. I'll see if I can. I'll throw you a few curveballs in there here and there. So yeah, all right. So just to set it up right off the bat, it's called Deadwood because it's based in a world where everybody's made out of wood, including the zombies of the world, which we call Deadwood. So there's nothing to do with a Western, nothing to do with the HBO show. We get that one quite often. Yeah, just to kind of get you in the right frame of mind, it's kind of Zelda meets Don't Starve. It's two different types of gameplays that we're smashing together. The idea is you play as this character Lade, who's a little woodling guy, and you explore this big open world, and with you you have a stone giant named Rogard, and he's kind of your protector. So during the day, he will follow you around. He'll smash Deadwoods for you. You advance the story, and you gather resources. And when the sun sets, Rogard gets sleepy, and he falls asleep on you. So then, at this point, then it turns more into a survival game or a tower defense game. So Rogard becomes the objective. You have to protect him at nighttime. Same way he's had your back all day, you have his back at night. So you have to ensure that he stays alive, and you use those resources you gather to place barricades, mines, turrets, decoys, anything you can to help him survive. And all these resources this is just a big pool of them. So if you want to go more offensive, you can. If you want to go more defensive, you can. But you survive the night. He wakes up. He yawns. He's got no clue. He's fallen asleep. He thinks he's been up all night, fighting Deadwoods. And so you get your resources back. You smash down your defenses. You get your resources back, and then you move on to the next location. So what's really great about this and what sets this apart from other survival games is it constantly keeps you on the move. So every time the sun sets, he's going to fall asleep in a new location. And because the story is advancing you through the world, you never quite know where that location is going to be. So, really gives a lot of variety, and you have to think on your feet quite a bit. But at its heart, it's definitely a adventure game. There's a lot of story. We've taken a lot of time with the world and developing the characters. But that's basically the pitch right there.
That's cool. That's cool.
That
So
is very cool.
yeah, I'm gonna jump right in here and
You jump in there.
check out the
Do
world
that.
of Deadwood.
That's what you're doing.
Delicious.
So this loading screen that we're seeing, what was the inspiration behind it?
Nice.
You got it?
Sure. I mean, the loading screen is basically, from an old. I mean, we are big 1980s, 70s, 80s, film, and definitely this has Army of Darkness, Star Wars, feel to it. It's
I can feel that.
The main menu.
Yeah.
Talk about the loading
Yeah,
screen, the main menu.
yeah. Oh, you guys talking about the main menu?
Yeah.
You guys are probably past that by now.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah, we're gonna be quicker.
And that was actually something I wanted to talk about because I know you guys have quite the background in your studio.
Actually, we most of us actually, Keith and I are from the film industry, but we've all three of us have worked with some of the production companies, some of the bigger production companies out there. Keith and I actually worked together at Weta, and when we were on Avatar is when we decided to work together on Deadwood. And so after Weta, I left to go to DreamWorks to work on Rise of the Guardians and How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Oh wow.
While Keith actually stayed behind to work on The Hobbit. I kick myself all the time in the foot, because I didn't get to work. I actually joined Weta right after Lord of the Rings and left right before The Hobbit. So I hear about that. I hear about that a lot. I feel guilty about it. I feel terrible about it. But oh well, I had to do it. New Zealand was a little too far from family and from everything. But so we brought our Deadwood's actually our second game under the Steamroller banner. Keith and Adam actually worked on a first game called Steamroller Studios called the Super Shock Football, and they brought me on board at the end of Super Shock to do a little bit of camera animation, and that's how the three of us decided we're going to do Deadwood right after. And so we've been working on Deadwood for about 4 or 5 years now, but technically it's been about 6 months if you look at how many hours we've spent, because we all had full-time jobs. It's only in the last 4 or 5 months that we decided, all right, we're going to take a break from our full-time job and focus just on Deadwood, because it's our passion project and it's what we want to do. So we decided, all right, let's just take the time and focus on Deadwood. So that's what we've been doing for the past few months.
Oh, crazy. That's coming along really well. This is I was going to ask, what made you guys decide on the companion mechanic? It's such a neat little twist on the survival style game of having this giant rock golem with me.
Yeah, thank you. I think the idea stemmed from the fact that we really want to be a story-based game, and we wanted to be about characters, and we wanted to be an emotional attachment. So pretty early on, we were like, all the other survival games out there, it's just you alone in the wilderness, and you've got your fort that you build, and we really wanted to be, somebody that you protect, not just your own. You're not just looking out for yourself; you're looking out for somebody else. So it was just a natural thing to go, all right, well, if we have this character you protect, you need to make it to where you feel like you owe him, because what's your incentive to protect him? And that's where the idea came in, that he would be a bodyguard. And we always wanted to play with the idea of size, even from the beginning. Actually, kind of a funny story, Rogard, or Stone Giant here, started life as a cabbage, just a little tiny round dude that would just kind of squash and jump around, and was very powerful. But we did some designs, and I don't know, he seemed kind of annoying, so we ultimately abandoned that, and then went with a giant rock guy. So we definitely wanted him to be either really small or really big, so he would contrast your main character. But we're pretty happy. I think the stone thing works well too, because it's he's the only one of his kind, so he definitely sticks out in the world a bit as an outsider. But yeah, we hope that makes it a little more emotional, having somebody that you're protecting and not just something.
This is maybe a little bit too subtle, but he reminds me of a character from the Never-Ending Story.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
They eat the rocks, right? I always thought that was weird. There was a stone guy and he ate rocks, right?
I know. His hands
He's
look
a cannibal.
strong.
Yeah, we actually got that. We're starting to get that a little bit now. Like, these guys are made out of wood, but I've noticing that there's, they're building bridges out of wood, and the buildings are made of wood. Are they building out of their own flesh? Like, and I try to explain to people, like, we use the rule of like the Toy Story rule. I call it, like, it's, there's a lot of plastic in the world of Toy Story, but if it doesn't have eyes, then it's not really alive.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean they're alive just because it's made out of wood. Although maybe there will be a religious section in the game or something that is obsessed with like thinking that bridges are our fallen comrades or something. I don't know.
Oh, dead. Dead on the first night.
Oh, you're
dead on the first night. Yeah.
They really come at you. Quickly.
Yeah, they do with this.
Yeah.
That's neat, though.
Your
like
fences did nothing for him.
I am going to let
Yeah.
Keith take that one.
Yeah,
The camera,
just to let you know, the difficulty level has been ramped up a little bit, just because when we were at PAX the first day, it seemed like people weren't getting the experience that we wanted, and so we had to sort of compress the overall experience into a much more condensed state, and we forgot to ramp that back down for you guys. So
bring it on.
that's what you're seeing here. Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know, but you can actually rotate the camera by pressing those shoulder buttons.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Fancy. So, how much influence in this game came from your jobs at the studios that you work for?
Well, I mean, if you a lot of the look and the design and the feel for it actually comes from I would say the how Adam, Keith, and I work together. I would say I think it we have very similar sensibilities. Like I mentioned earlier, we all from the 80s. We love movies like Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal and the Indiana Jones films. I mean, like you guys, the Star Wars films, and these are the things we grew up with, and so as we were developing the world of Deadwood, the feeling and the look of it, we wanted to go back to that era of the Goonies and really something a little more stylistic and less realistic. If you look at where the game industry is going now, everything is trying to be realistic. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy it. Everything is very realistic. All the AAA games are looking more realistic as we go. Like if you look at The Order or Bloodhorn. Is that Bloodhorn? The new From Software game. It's looking more realistic as you go. And the games like Zelda and Rayman and the cartoony games that are more stylistic and have a very strong art direction is starting to get rarer. So when we started, I mean, if you look at Super Shark Football, Adam's sensibilities is very towards that, very cartoony, and if you look at the art style there, it's a more of a vintage, 1930s futuristic look of how football players would be, and so we want to continue that philosophy of let's make our worlds more stylized and more cartoony. And so when we were working on it, we definitely wanted more colors, the animation to be way more pushed and less realistic. We wanted players when they are playing it to actually have a good laugh as well when they're looking at these zombies running around. They're like little babies, just little wooden babies running around. I'm not saying
not babies.
Not babies. I'm gonna take that away. Little, wooden critters, maybe I'd say, that are running around. They're more funny than they are horrible,
Especially, I don't know if people have been paying attention, but when I'm shooting them, you can blow off like each individual limb, and they just stop for a minute and look down and like, oh, my arm's gone, whatever, and they keep walking at you. One guy's like hopping on one leg.
Yeah, that's something that we actually really wanted to push in the game, is that Sprout, which is the zombie that you guys are fighting right now, he's resilient, so he'll be the fodder of the game. I mean, we're gonna have plenty more different Deadwood that you'll encounter, but they'll all be a little more. There'll be more experienced Deadwood and Deadwood that have different abilities and powers, while Sprout, the one that you guys are fighting, are like the fodder. They'll come in waves and waves and waves, but they're very resilient. So you'll break an arm, you'll break a leg, they'll keep coming, you'll break both legs, they'll crawl on the ground towards you, and it's only when you get the head is when they'll die. And in the actual final game, it won't be that easy to get a headshot like you are right now. It's probably much easier to get headshots. So it'll be trickier to actually kill them. You'll need a little bit more strategy to survive these hordes.
All I can think of is the Black Knight from Monty Python. His butt's
That's
a
right.
scratch. You've
Just
got
a-
no arm.
Just
Yeah.
a flesh wound.
What are you
Come
gonna
on
do?
now.
Bite my legs off?
By the way, I absolutely love how your rock buddy has sort of like a prance as he walks.
Yeah, he's adorable.
It's like he's tiptoeing or something.
Yeah, that's again, that's back to the feeling that we were looking for. The first pass that we did, animation-wise, it looked more like a rock golem, like he was running with his arms swinging, just like a big rocky guy. And we felt like we were missing an opportunity there of really pushing a voice, our voice in the feeling and the look of it. So we really went back into the animation of Rogard and pushed that child feel that you get from him now, because he's a very passive, innocent kind of a character that Lathan Rogard, they become best friends during this game, during this first story. And so we really wanted Rogard to be lovable and not just a big rock golem, but something you want to be around.
And something you want to save at night, which I am not doing well.
So, when it comes to the what's his name again? Sorry, I keep the gold
Rogard.
Rogard. How does he follow you around, or do you just kind of have to follow him as he kind of makes his own path?
He follows you around, but
definitely,
he. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, he follows you around
Okay, go
and he gets easily distracted. So he'll go after the zombies that are out of maybe a little bit more out of the way than you want him to. But we're honing that stuff in as we develop as well. So but at the very least, we don't want him to be annoying. So that's one of our biggest credos with him, is that we don't want the follower to be annoying, because we don't want it to be an escort mission.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it to
Yeah,
be
we
like
also are gonna do
Natalia
something-
in the Control on
I
GoldenEye.
assume you're looking more for an Ico.
Yeah, exactly. We want people to really like this guy, so we're being very careful about, we don't want him to be annoying. So have you help, like for example, scavenging is a good example. Like different tiers, you can pick something up as like the first tier, scavenging. The second tier would be kind of what we call the tickle the pig animation, which is what you guys have been doing on the bushes, scavenging those. And then there's a third tier, which will be something that you Rogard actually do for you, because it might be like a larger tree or something like that, and then he can pound the ground or whatever and make things pop out of it, which is something. So we're going to try to make him as useful as possible during the day. So not only is he protecting you, but he's helping you out as well.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Just so you guys don't have to play a whole nother day cycle, you can hit the tilde button on the keyboard, and that's a cheat to get you fast forwarded to night if you want to try again.
Oh, cool.
And is enter still give them life?
Yeah, we had to put a bunch of cheats in there for ourselves to be able to get footage.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you guys press enter, you can be immortal.
Yeah.
Maybe for nighttime.
Yeah.
Won't be in the final game.
So, how do you guys decide that you want to be get your feet wet with indie dev? Like, what sort of the what sort of the thought like what you said 5 years ago you started to really think about this, but how do you go from working for major motion picture studios to wanting to make a game?
Go ahead, take that one, Joel.
Oh, I got that one. All right.
Yeah.
It's been pretty. I mean, Keith and I and Adam, both have been in working with other people and bigger studios for the past decade, I'd say. I've been doing it for 11 years. I think Keith, you've been doing it for 12 years, and Adam, you've been doing it for 9 years, 10 years as well. Yeah, and it's been a while now, and we've been through the roller coaster of stress and working crazy overtime and on projects that that is being created by someone else, on projects where it's somebody else's vision. And in I would say in many cases, you're working on a project that you might not really be believing in. You're working on a project that is does not have the story elements or the gameplay or the vision that you think is correct, but you're still working on it because it's your job. And that honestly causes a lot of frustrations down the road. And I think I've been through that. And you get to a place where you're like, I wish we could just fix the story. I wish we could just do this. And to a point where when Adam, Keith, and I started making games, we're like, wow, this is what we want to do. Is we have full control over this. We tell the story we want. We tell the story that we believe is right and that people will really enjoy. And there's no one else to tell us not to do it. And it's so I think we got a taste of it as we started Deadwood, and it was so much fun that we're like, I think this is our future. This is what we want to do, is have our own vision, tell our own stories, and really inspire, people around us, and really make, kids today and or adults, enjoy stories that we know they will, or, we believe they will. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the main reasons that we decided, we needed a break from, from the big studios and just do our own thing and tell our own stories.
Plus, it also helps that there's a market for indie games, whereas we could have gone off and made our own short stories, but there's not really a market for that. So it helps that we can monetize this and do it for a living, and we can do something we love and get paid for it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely.
How many people can say that?
Yeah, exactly.
Not us.
I think, to be honest, I think really storytelling, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but storytelling in games becoming games are becoming an incredible medium for storytelling. And people are catching up on this, because when you're playing a character, you are that character for the length of that story. How many movies can pride themselves of having a character that you really believe in and you're following throughout the story? Not many, But games, I have to say, 50% of games, that's what you do. You're a character and you're following their story, or even more. So that to us was the right medium to. I mean, Keith and I tried to do a short film once, and it's tough to get everybody. Especially that we had full-time jobs, and having a whole team of people that already have full-time jobs to work on a side project that is another film is very, very difficult. Keith and I were the only ones working, and we realized, what, we got to do our own thing, the two of us. So that's why when Adam and Keith started doing games, I was like, I'm in. I know these two guys' work ethic. I know how we work together, and so we decided to do that. But storytelling is I think now going towards games, and you have games like Last of Us, which is basically a 20-hour movie. And it's gorgeous.
Yeah, we're definitely finding much more of the cinematic narrative coming out of games. Even in the indie scene, where you've got things like Gone Home,
right,
coming out, where it's more story than anything else. So
is there the Two Brothers one as well?
Yeah.
That was really good too.
Instant classic, Two Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful stuff. I mean, gorgeous artwork, but definitely amazing characters.
Mm-hmm. I may be healing. I may be.
Hey there.
Yeah,
So-
good.
So far, when it comes to the game, what has been the biggest hurdle for the whole process?
Good question. Well, specifically for PAX and getting things ready for the Kickstarter, we actually had a pretty big setback where we lost an entire layout. So it was like we were working on for a good month or so, and we just all fell apart on us, and we had to rebuild the whole thing from scratch. And just everything you're playing now, we built it in like a week. I mean, there was all the stuff we built beforehand, obviously, but the actual layout itself, we just had to like push out much quicker than we would have liked to. But that's just to what we're playing right now. But I mean, overall, I mean, the big challenge has just been it's actually something I think we're overcoming now, which is getting together in the same area. We've been working on this game, as Joe said, for a long time, on and off, and it's just such a challenge to do that. When everybody's in different locations. Julio was in California on Florida, and Keith was in New Zealand. So trying to make a game like this with that kind of barriers, was difficult. So, but we've overcome that now. We're in studio, so that's kind of much better now.
Interesting. So one question that we ask our developers every week is, what has been your guys' favorite glitch that you've found in the game?
I think we all have our own favorite glitch.
Do tell.
Go ahead. Go first.
I'll go first. When I was programming in the Rogard smash that he does in the morning when you wake up, if you ever get to that point, he basically wakes up, yawns, and then smashes the ground. There was a glitch at one point where when he smashed the ground, he shot up in the air about 30 or 40 feet. Yeah.
Well, it's not a glitch, it's just morning stretches, right?
Yeah, everybody wakes up like that. They're like, oh god, it's that time. Boing.
I think Trevor actually called it PAX, which was Rogard didn't fall asleep at night. So all of a sudden, this guy that you're supposed to be protecting, he's away and running around and destroying everybody. I mean, because there's a lot more zombies that come out at night, and he's just wrecking them, and there's just heads flying everywhere. And it was a huge performance hit because we just did not count on that happening, and so that was kind of funny seeing him run around at nighttime and wrecking people.
That's funny.
I think mine would be, and again, because I've been doing the animation. There's one glitch in there where they lose all their legs, but they still have the running animation. So you have this hanging, floating bodies just running around, running after you. That's probably the one that gets me the most, and I cringe every time I see it. I'm like, all that work I did, and now they're not crawling anymore. So Keith, did you fix that already?
I did. It took a while. It was a weird bug where if they got hit, I don't know if I should go into detail, but when they got hit, if they got hit in the head after they had gotten hit in the body, or let's say the legs, then it didn't trigger the event in order for them to actually lose their legs. So it took me a while. It was a weird one. It was sort of the more you looked at it, the harder it was to investigate, because it was, yeah.
Inconceivable.
That word you keep using.
I do not think it means what you think it means.
Nice.
Oh boy. So the landscape is procedurally generated?
No, actually. Oh, go ahead, Adam.
Oh no, I was gonna say, we did come to a place where we talked about procedural generation. I think he thought I was crazy, but I was like, let's play around with that idea. We kind of compromised on something which Keith can speak more about, but it's a hex tile system. So what that does is allows us to basically, we can still art direct everything in the game, but this allows us to create an open world much quicker than if we were trying to handcraft every little element. So it's kind of a nice middle ground. It allows us to quickly make the world and then kind of modify different things, as opposed to we did have I think he played around a little bit, and it would do some procedural stuff, but it's just so much work to get something to look good procedurally that it turned into, like, we can either make a really cool procedural system or we can make a really cool, like, story game. So ultimately we had a nice compromise, so at least this will let us make the world much quicker.
I think, and also I'm going to add to that is, when you do procedural, it's great because you have a beautiful landscape. It's all random. It's all randomized, and it's massive. You get mass, but you cannot get the kind of quest and storytelling that is based on the lore that we're building. We want to be able to handcraft every little location in the world. We want to have the Witch Hills. We want to make sure that the Witch Hills is designed, and we know where the witch were killed and where they were sentenced, and what's here and what's there, where's the shrine, everything. We want to be able to handcraft that in these parts that are story driven. So we have the base that is automated, with the hex system, where we can design one of them and then duplicate it. But in the end, we go through every single one of these tiles, and we actually make sure it's all unique and it's all lore driven and has a purpose there.
Mm-hmm. So how big is the world, if you know what I mean?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. At least
pretty
currently.
big. I mean, we did a rough test of running from, let's say you do not encounter anyone and you just run from north all the way to south. And how long was it, Keith? That's running straight without.
It was 15 minutes.
So it was.
Wow.
So it was 15 minutes real time of just running north to south, and that's not going through. That's not stopping at all and just running straight. So it's a pretty big world. I think Mass Effect, not Mass Effect. Sorry, I think Skyrim was about 20 minutes to half an hour. I can't quite remember, which is a big difference, but I think it was about 20 minutes. So it's a pretty big world, and it's a lot of fun for us to explore that world and craft it and bring it to life.
This will be just a straight up yes or no answer because I don't want any spoilers on this. Did you add any Easter eggs or any homages to movies?
Actually, the names of the zombies.
Oh God, you got absolutely.
I think my favorite one in there is
Don't say it.
Campbell.
Don't tell them that.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Sorry, no spoilers.
Okay.
But
we do have lots of Easter eggs. Like we're us being Zelda fans. I know me personally, I put in a lot of little winks to Zelda in the game as well. So people will hopefully catch those.
lots of 90s, 80s films, quotes and stuff like that from lots of movies in there, and it's been a lot of fun. We want the game to be fun for players, and especially hardcore fans. We want them to catch these things and go, "Oh man, I know this! This is awesome."
So it'll be fun for the new gamer and for the person who has a love for classic film.
Yep, absolutely. Well, classic 80s, I'd say.
Yeah, if you're an 80s fan, you'll definitely enjoy the nods we put in there.
Somehow you got Rugard up on top of the barricade, which is impressive. They can't reach him.
Yeah,
That's another bug. That's another bug that we found. Yeah.
It's a feature.
Oh, yeah.
There are no bugs, only features.
Yeah.
His proportions get bigger when he plops down, so that's why he steadily landed on top of the barricade.
Just so you guys know, that's a note that I did write to Keith, and Keith didn't have a chance to fix it, but I did give him that note.
Look at that, he's got like an entire
Did you
folder.
put the cover sheet on the TPS report?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Did you make it? You make it?
Maybe.
Did you make it?
I have a trick. It's called
Not
putting
dying?
lines on like 50 of them. At
Oh,
once.
okay.
Boop. Nope.
Archmark says, average giants, bug fingers, finders.
Yep. I don't think we've had a single week go by where we didn't find at least one
I'm
glitch.
sure there's been a couple.
You think?
It's like live beta.
Maybe not like
I wish we were in
game-breaking
beta.
glitches, but... Oh, he just fell.
Oh no.
That's okay.
How long is the day-night system?
At the moment, it's I think 12 minutes. But that's something we're tweaking, obviously. And there's other. I'll let the other guys talk about why that might change. So.
Well, the day and night is such a big part of the game that we will definitely be tweaking that as we are balancing the game. And balancing a game like this is a huge undertaking because we're going to add a lot more different Deadwood in there and a lot more different creatures, and that will definitely change the style of the game, and definitely we'll have to balance a lot of things, especially the day and night system. And the day and night system also is affected by many other things in the game that we haven't announced yet. There are items that you can use to alter or use day and night, in different ways. And that's the stuff that we haven't quite announced yet, but we will actually very soon. Today we decided on announcing a huge, actually one of the main core gameplay mechanics that we haven't announced yet that we will very soon. And that has to do with the night and day system. So to answer your question, right now we don't really have a number that we can say right now it's about even. Is it about even right now, night and day?
Right now it's even,
Right.
but it's definitely going to be. I think it's definitely going to be more skewed towards the adventuring and storytelling, and allowing you to experience it. But then there'll be a very intense night period. Yeah.
How about seasons?
Oh,
Yeah,
like overall.
Yeah, like can you get, like say with Don't Starve, if you live long enough, you get to see the different seasons.
Well,
we're definitely
you know,
gonna have weather effects. Sorry, go ahead, Louis.
no, exactly what Adam was saying. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I mean we're definitely going to have we'll have rain that comes in and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to get to a point in this particular chunk of the world where we'll have snow or anything like that. So I don't know. That's
But
a
we
lot
will
of
have
stuff that-
different areas of the world.
Yeah, there'll be different areas, but there is a whole area that it's got snow in it, but we probably won't be able to include it in this bill. But there'll definitely be rain, and I mean that's a good point. We've been working with Speed Tree is the software that we use to make all of our trees and bushes here, and you can see here how it was super easy to get the leaves to disappear when you scavenge and just get the raw sticks behind it. That's something that Speed Tree lets us do. So even changing the colors of trees is something that wouldn't be that difficult. I don't think. I say that, but I'm not the programmer. Pete loves it when I say that. I'm like, yeah, you just do this, right? And he's like, yeah, just.
Just. I really love the water effects too. You can see them on top of the screen there. They're very cartoony. We have a question.
Me of, like Wind Waker sort of thing.
We have a question from chat though. Archmar is wondering how many different kinds of defenses are there, and can they be upgradable?
Yes, at the moment we have. Let's see, we have. So in the build you're playing, there's only two kinds of defenses. So you have mines and barricades. So in the final game, you're going to have mines, barricades, traps, decoys, and the turrets. So all 5 different. These are types of defenses, but each type of defenses you can build multiple kinds of them, and you will be able to upgrade them. It depends on the kind of material that you have. So if you have, for example, you'll be finding designs throughout the game, and these designs allow you to build new kinds of defenses. For example, you can build a new kind and stronger barricade with stone and metal. And then if you get a bit more leather, maybe you can mix it together and get you a different kind of barricade. So you have to find these designs to be able to build these new kinds of defenses. So yes, you'll have about 5 types of defenses, but multiple variety. A lot of variety, basically.
I see you trying to get up on one of the rocks there.
Yeah, just checking it out.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody do that. I'm like, oh boy, where's this going to lead us?
And there's one thing right now that you probably you don't have. I don't think we've included this in the demo, and that's our modifier system, which is there's one main element in the world of Nottington, of Deadwood, that is important to the woodlings, and that's ember. Ember is like the source of energy, throughout of Nottington, and there are 6 different kinds of ember. And each of these ember is basically, gives you different kind of combustion, like different kind of explosion. So you'll have the most common one, that's the one you guys are using right now. It's the yellow ember, and that's a bolt. And you find this almost everywhere, so that's what you're picking up and using. And but bolt, you can use this in your guns. Every kind of guns you get, like your shotgun and your pea shooter, your turrets, you'll be able to modify these with the different kinds of ember. So if you have, for example, Kupal, which is a slightly stronger bolt, that will give you a much stronger attack, bullets and ammo. But if you use, for example, Delatin is like the most unstable kind of ember you can find out there, and it's the red one, and that one is very even tough to use. So, but if you do put this in a mine, the explosion, it's much bigger, and it probably destroys everything on screen. And all your weapons can be equipped with that as well. It's just rarer to find. So we have 6 different types of ember with different abilities.
Oh, cool.
They're watching. Hit the mine! Hit the mine!
Yeah.
They're on it. They gotta walk off it. There we go.
Yeah, that's been one note that we've had is that we should make those timed if they don't walk off them. So like maybe it's if they walk off it, but also if it's like 6 seconds or something like that, where they're standing on it, that they'll go off as well.
Oh yeah, right. That makes sense. I really enjoy the mines in this. They're a lot of fun. I'm finding I'm using them to clear out swaths of Deadwood.
So you can imagine when we get more defenses in there, like say a decoy, you could create. You could create a barricade maze that takes you to a group of mines. That has a decoy at the end of it or something like that to draw them there. I mean, so there's gonna be all kinds. It's gonna be interesting to see the kind of crazy stuff that people come up with. We've seen stuff just with these two things that people have done that's blown us away. So it's gonna be I think a fun YouTubing and Twitch type of game. I think when we're all done because it is pretty open. I mean, unlike other tower defense games where it's very much they're on a set path and you just are you have to put the stuff where they tell you to put it. This is obviously it's just gonna be tough to balance. But I think if we can pull it off, then it's gonna make for some fun gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So based on the open concept of this game, is there perhaps going to be like a physical ending, or is just when you die is when it ends?
Well, right now...
No, it's...
go ahead, Adam.
I was just going to say that, we definitely have an end game. That's another thing that sets us apart from other survival games, is that which is why we say we err more on the adventure side, because we do have a story to tell. We have an arc. We've written a script, and we're all I think we're all pretty happy with, the story that we're going to be telling. So yeah, that's one thing that we didn't want to do is the whole, you die and that's it. You just threw away however many days you survived because it's gone now. Like there's going to hopefully be more of a feeling of advancement and, hopefully not be. There's so many people doing that roguelike stuff now anyway. It's like when the indies first started doing it, it was like, oh yes, it's coming back, and now it's kind of like everyone's doing it. We're going against the grain a bit, I guess now.
Yes. Story for us has been something which is incredibly important. Is advancing a story, ending the story, but because we are building an open world, we want exploration to be very important as well. So even if you do finish the game, I mean, you can still go back and try and do all the quests and all of our quests are, I don't know if you guys have watched the Kickstarter video, but all of our quests are actually dynamic. None of them are go pick a blue, match the blue square with the blue light, match the red square with the red light, and then the door opens. It's all based on the lore. When you find something, someone will tell you a story that you need to go find this map, and then the map you have to go and visually look at the world and find where the hints and clues are. We really want a game that makes players think about stuff and remember things, and it probably will frustrate a lot of players that are so used to being told what to do and where to go. But if they want that, they can just play the main story and they finish the game. But players that want to explore and do these very we are D&D fans. We love role playing and have that freedom to go and explore and find things that maybe your neighbor will never find. And because you went in the corner of that forest, you found this letter, and this letter sent you to this person that lives on this hill, and you give him the letter and he gives you an item. It's stuff like that. We really enjoy that kind of storytelling where you feel you've achieved something when you find something in the game. So
sorry, just watching.
Yeah,
just watching you there.
So with
I'm pulling for you.
257 kills. That's my record so far.
So with the quest system for the future, will there be times where you'll have to find a way to leave your buddy behind and go like searching, or will you have to follow you the entire time?
Well, yeah, we don't want to. We're not going to spoil anything, but we made sure that it's very creative the way you have to survive the nights. There are nights where you will have to barricade him and leave him and go do a quest which you can only do at night, and which makes things really, really tricky. But that said, Rogard himself will be able to be leveled up. I mean, get ability. He will have abilities himself. That there are abilities that allows him to do things at night as well. That he will be able to use some powers at night, but which is very limited though. But yes, we will have a variety of missions that will use the same system night and day and defense and all that stuff, but in a more creative way that it's not too repetitive every night.
And when it comes to the storyline, are you going to be putting in any cutscenes, or how's that going to work?
That's something we're still discussing. You know, we are big. I mean, being from the film industry, we are big into cutscenes. Trust me, we want fully animated cutscenes, but that would all depend on the budget. You know, we right now we have we have planned something which is probably not going to be fully animated. You know, more of a drawing cutscenes and images, and it will move, but not fully animated. But if we get good funding and we have the finances for it, then we will definitely go in there and improve the animation and the look of all the cutscenes. Cool. But yes, we do have a big story to tell, so cutscenes would be awesome.
Perfect.
I'm so focused on trying to set something up to survive tonight.
You got him in a nice. Yeah, you got him in a nice closed-off area.
Put mines
so
outside.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put mines outside your barricades would help too, because then you're blowing them up before they can get to your mines. Your barricades.
Yeah.
But,
I was thinking that too.
We also have one of the things that Julio talked about is, keeping an item that plays with the day-night cycle. The same item we'll be able to use for moving Rogard around. So, it's one thing, like, he falls asleep and that's where he's at, but, you will be able to, move him to a new location at nighttime, and, if it's a really bad location, we don't want to make it completely, like, screw the players if they fall asleep in a horrible spot.
Yeah, that's the strategy element that we wanted to bring into the game, that we give the players options. It's limited, but they get to balance what they really need during that one night, to survive. And it's really quick thinking. It's a game that we want it to be quick thinking, and you can pause the game and think about stuff, but there's always this, place barricade, defend, place barricade, defend.
Mm-hmm.
You can also scavenge the tall grass that you have there.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a question in the chat. Are you going to deliver some story through findable text logs like a lot of games do?
What's that again? What's findable?
Like they're asking if you find a scroll that delivers some of the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're gonna have, a lot of the stories would be through things you find and people you meet. They'll tell you things. But definitely we'll have stuff like books and scrolls and stuff that you find, and stuff engraved on walls, and because there's a huge history to the world of Nottington. There's a huge backstory to what happened in the past, and to why everybody's made out of wood except for one character. So there's a lot of history to the world that we have to tell, and that would be told through either older people telling you, or places you go where there are books and scrolls and writings on walls and stuff like that.
Bring it on.
There's another glitch there where two zombies spawn at the same exact location, relatively at the same time. One will shoot the other into the air. Yeah, one will shoot the other one into the air.
That's funny.
Basically, the game wants you to die.
Yeah,
it's inevitable.
Definitely.
Sorry.
It's interesting watching you guys play, because a lot of the Let's Plays that have popped up online. I mean, being a creator of the art, it's hard to watch people play. So a lot of times we'll have to have someone else watch it for us and tell us whether they liked it or not before we're able to go in and.
Oh, I thought it was because you guys were going to be yelling at the screen, going, "You're doing it wrong!"
No, yeah, Adam and I, we talked about that once. I mean, it's so difficult to watch people play it, and you're like, oh my god, they're not gonna like it. Oh no.
It actually might be worth watching a couple of them, because we've had a couple devs so far where we play a game and a way that they've never seen before.
Absolutely.
yeah.
To the point
We've had
where
that.
they're not even sure how we managed to do it
Yep.
that way.
Yeah.
I think one of them was See No Evil, which is
A puzzle.
a sound-based puzzle game.
Yeah.
And they're just like, how did you just do that?
Yeah. We beat a couple puzzles in a way they'd never seen.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that'd be
No,
one
no,
way to-
well-
no,
Well, we watch all of them. I mean, it's not like we don't watch them. We just don't do it at first. We have someone else do it. One of our team members will watch it and then go, all right, it's safe. You guys can watch it. Everything has been safe so far. Even though we get bad ones, we have to go watch it because we do believe in notes. I mean, we are from an industry that is very, very anal about making it perfect. Having worked in these big studios, everything needs to be perfect. So we are used to being hit in the face and slapped in the face every day on how bad what we do looks like. So it's taking notes is actually at PAX we had a few people that they came the first day, they gave us some notes, Keith addressed the notes. The next day at PAX, Keith did the fixes in the hotel room, and then the next day they came back to play it. And the third day they came back to play it. And I remember there was this kid, his name was Frank, and he on the third day he told me, he's like, what's awesome is that the notes I gave you on 3 days ago, today you've done them, and it's awesome. And it's we love that stuff. We love listening to what players are not liking, and that's the way we want to do Deadwood. We want to make sure that we are fans as well of games.
Do you find that you guys are using live streaming or YouTubers as your game testers, or do you have your own play testers that you've got in house or that you bring in?
At the moment we are testing it ourselves. Basically, we have people here that are testing it. PAX was a good place for us to watch complete strangers play the game, but that's something we will definitely have is a group of people that will be testers for the game. But we don't have them right now. We're so early into production that we'll eventually get there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we don't want to necessarily make YouTubers or streamers our beta testers. We don't want them to be as frustrated playing the game. Even though you guys are seeing bugs and stuff like that, but this has been an early demo that we created specifically for the Kickstarter.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's one nice thing. I don't find it frustrating when I die. I find it completely my fault in that if I had done that better, then I wouldn't have died. So
That's
I'm
the
not
best way of
frustrated at the
doing it,
game
too.
that way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No longer are you at the point where you want to throw your controller at the screen because of something that was crap. Now it's, I know what I need to do now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You just need to try harder and do it
That
right.
could be a huge difference.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
That game
Yeah.
that I broke 2 controllers with that game.
I'm having the same thing. I just picked up the new Monster Hunter for my 3DS, and I'm
Yeah.
having the same issue where 3DS has sailed across the room more than once.
Oh no.
I was going to say, don't throw your controller because that is the concept.
Yeah.
Yep.
I try to avoid those kind of games because I'm pretty sure I would just get too frustrated and it would just sort of transfer into my life. And I'm a delivery driver for a living, so that's not a good idea.
I already have enough road rage, huh?
Yeah, I had to sit down with my wife and have a conversation before I could pick up Dark Souls, and because I played the first Demon Soul and she remembers how frustrated I was, and when I told her there was a sequel, she's like, "Hold on a second, is it the sequel to that demon game that you were playing that made you into a demon?" So basically I told her that I would beat the game in 1 week and that would be it. So I had to finish the game in a week. And so I played day and night, and it was a Sunday where I was finishing it. I played all morning, all night. It was 4 a.m. Monday morning, so I couldn't do it in exactly 7 days. It was 7 days and 4 hours. At 4 a.m. I woke her up, and I was like, "Honey, I just beat it," and I went to bed. She was
See you
like,
next week.
"Yeah, you must be proud."
And then you had the best sleep of your life.
Best
Yep.
sleep of my life.
I know that I remember back being a kid with GoldenEye 007 for the N64 when I would
Oh, I love that.
I
game.
would go to sleep incredibly frustrated because
Of Natalia.
of friggin' Natalia and her inability to withstand being smacked and dying.
Good old GoldenEye.
I mean, of course, I was 12 years old or something, so.
I like that strategy you got going on there. You're gonna like box him in and then stay on the outside.
Yep. Welcome to Rogar's playpen.
Yeah. This will allow you to stay agile and
That was a bug that I actually enjoyed that we had before. Was you would build an awesome barricade on Rogard, and all the Deadwood will actually come out of the ground inside the barricade. It was probably the best.
Oh.
He's convulsing.
Oh, yeah.
He's dreaming.
Yeah.
Put a couple
So,
turntables underneath his hands right now.
sleep well and dream of large women.
Up.
Oh, I
there.
wasn't even watching myself. Oh, damn it.
Princess Dark Horse didn't get in.
You forgot about you?
Yeah, I forgot about me.
Oh.
Is it time to press enter?
I have been.
Oh,
Oh, no, I have been.
okay.
Yeah, it heals you a little bit. I mean, no, that's a good idea.
You're hardcore, man.
I should try
Still hardcore.
Oh, man.
Are you guys gonna be adding any voice acting or any like random lines of dialogue throughout the gameplay?
Adam, you want to take that?
Yeah, we're going to. Most of the game is going to be delivered through, old school text-based prompts. But we really wanted to develop the characters, the Lathe and Rogard, and kind of the relationship without having to stop the game. So we are going to at the very least have voice actors for Lathe and Rogard, so they can, kind of Left 4 Dead style, like they can talk about things while they're fighting and while things are happening on. Even down to Rogard talking in his sleep. So we'll definitely develop our main characters that way. But for a team of our size to do voice acting over the entire world is it's biting off a little bit more than we can chew, I think.
Well, it is something that we've talked about for stretch goals. If that's something that we do want to put out there. If we do make a certain amount, then definitely we will have we'll try at least to get voice acting for secondary characters. Maybe not the whole world, but at least the I guess how do you call them? Not the stars, but the
NPCs.
The supporting cast.
The supporting cast. That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, we'll tackle it in stages, basically. Like Adam said, we'll do the main guys, and then if we have the funds, we'll take care of the people that are in the main storyline, and then we'll, move on from there.
Having a game fully voice acted gums up the works too. I always think back to Star Wars: The Old Republic. They pushed back production by like a full 2 years, getting everything voice acted, and then we all know what happened to that game. So
You guys didn't work on that game, did you?
No.
Nope.
Good. Oh, that game. God. Oh, jeez.
That would be embarrassing. I had a whole thing. I've told the story before, but at GDC, I met a guy and he asked if this was going to be on mobile, and I don't know. That somehow turned into a conversation about me, basically me going on a rant about Zynga and the free-to-play model, and I kind of went pretty hard to get Zynga, and I was like, so what are you doing? He's like, I work for Zynga. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, oh, we're used to it. He knows he works for a jerky company, so it was okay.
yeah, that's okay as long as they're aware.
Yeah, we talked to one developer a couple weeks ago. She worked for Zynga.
Yeah,
She
oh,
said
yeah,
it was
that's
soul
spooky.
sucking.
Yeah, I think that's the actual term she used to describe it.
Yep. Great pay, but soul sucking.
Yeah.
You get one or the other. You get a soul or you get money.
Someone described it to us as they're an analytics company that makes games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
I like
I've heard
that.
they hire like psychologists and stuff, right? To figure
Yeah,
out the best way to
they're
extract money
called.
from you.
Yep.
They're a market research clickbait company.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
All right, Rogard. We're gonna survive.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna win. We're gonna do this. Are we gonna do this?
We'll see.
I don't know. You look like you're pretty open there.
With my one fence, yes.
Yeah. Maybe
Yes, I'm still
you
pretty
should be able
open with
to.
one
You should
fence.
be able to walk around with a built fence and just like hold it in front of the zombies. Not on my watch. So when it comes to the building of stuff, what
Yeah.
how much resources does it take to build one fence, or what can one tree get you for resources, or that sort of thing?
Again, I think that's something that we quite haven't figured out yet.
It isn't
we will-
balanced yet.
we haven't balanced that yet. It will come down to whenever we have our number of defenses, and we're starting to, that thing will change. For example, right now it might take 2 wood to get you one of these barricades, but as we are
10.
building, what's that?
It's 10.
It's 10, exactly. So that's what I meant. Not 2, but 10. Let's say it takes you 10 wood to make one barricade, and then we started building the stone barricades, and then we go, okay, well, you need 2 wood and 3 stone, and and then we start balancing. Or maybe 10 is too many. Maybe we can make that smaller. Maybe a stronger wood barricade would require 8 wood and maybe 2 metal to make it stronger. So that's stuff that we'll have to balance. At the moment, I don't think we have a number yet set for it.
So there will be the ability for a fair chunk of crafting and such when you get to that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
And will it be fairly obvious, or will it be kind of like you got to figure it out on your own sort of thing?
Like I mentioned earlier, you'll have to find these designs, and these designs will basically tell you, what you can build. If, let's say, you find a design for a specific kind of a barricade, it will tell you, well, to be able to do this, now you have the ability to build this kind of a barricade, and but you'll need to find 2 leather, 4 metal, and 2 stone to build this one specific barricade. So you'll know what you can build with it.
Like right now, you have the stump mine out, and you have a certain number of resources at the bottom, which is the amber and the wood. At the top left, it'll say you have 7 more amber mines, 6 more that you can place. So it's basically taking the resources you have at the bottom, doing the math behind the scene, and presenting you with a number of those that you can create. So like if you switch to a barricade, it will say you can make 20 of these, or if you switch back to the gun, it will say you can shoot 129 times. So we're sort of trying to present it in a way that's intuitive for the user, but we may have to, expose a little bit more into the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
man.
smart to do.
Yeah, I mean, the way we're going to do that is we're going to have a menu that's not in there right now, that you'll be able to pause and go into the menu and quick equip your barricades. Because when you have too many barricades that you can build, depending on where you are in the world, you might not, because depending on the enemy that's around you, because the enemies are very regional as well, you go to a place where there'll be an enemy that you need to use the metal barricades, because that's the one that works best against them. Then we allow the players to just go into the menu, quick equip their metal barricade, because that's what they'll use during the night in that area. So in the menu you'll get more information on how much it costs to build what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I know.
We're halfway through the night.
And you're about to die. Oh, nope. You found the
this
magical
is
heal
brutal.
elixir.
Oh yeah. It's just poof.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
Feel good right now?
A
Feel like you're
little stressed.
You're accomplishing something?
A little stressed. I'm not gonna lie.
A little bit of stress.
Find it interesting trying to choose between the mines and the pistol, because with the pistol you can get like one hit kills and that kind of stuff, but with the mines you can get multiple deaths from one mine. But if you run out of amber, you can't do either, so you're left almost defenseless. So it's this interesting mix.
Yep, that's why, whenever you have... Sorry, Adam, go ahead.
Oh, no, I think we were going to say the same thing, which, I kind of alluded to earlier, like, you can go more offensive or defensive because, amber is a modifier. You can stuff it into a mine, or you can use that, to use in your weapons as well. So, and it can be like that for all of our weapons and all of our defenses will share that modifier. So it's really going to make things more interesting. We need to decide, like, all right, well, I can place this mine, or I can, if I'm a better shot, maybe I have a better, chance of surviving with a gun.
Or you can punch your way through a horde of zombies if you...
Yeah, while smashing the enter button as fast as I can.
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
So this may be this may be too early to ask, just based on the development process that you guys are in, but so far, has there been anything that you've wanted to put in the game that you've had to leave out?
Yeah, there was at one point we did have like another tier of modifications to the crafting system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's an information overload, I think, to the user. I'm trying to present 3 different levels of modifications, so we ended up abandoning something like that. It's just when some things work on the design board that don't necessarily work in practice. So.
Yeah, that's something that, we can actually talk about it. It was, we had different kinds of wood as well, and different kind of stone. Like you could find basically maple and you could find obsidian or basalt, or different kind of stone and different kind of rocks and different kind of wood. And that became way too complex and confusing for the kind of game that we were making.
Okay.
You got some caffeine in you. You're ready.
I'm ready to beat one night.
Beat one night. I'll be great.
Gonna beat night one.
Gonna beat night one. When I get back, you'll beat night. No, you're not.
I just want to add as well to what Keith was saying is to the question of stuff ending on the cutting floor. We've had tons of stuff. As we were writing the story, we realized how big of a world that we've created because before even writing the story, we created the world. We made sure we designed the world and all of its inhabitants, town and villages and cities, and we knew where everything was before telling the story. And the way we told the story is by basically putting the events and having our 2 characters travel towards an area, and then letting them tell us the story as they're going through it. We did not want to force a story down the throat of the players, but we wanted them to enjoy it as an adventure as the 2 characters traveling, the 2 best friends are discovering that world. And it became an amazing way of storytelling, and we got a really beautiful, realistic, not realistic, but an honest story out of it. So as we're doing this, we're discovering new characters and new things and new landscapes. We're like, oh my God, this would be great. But we couldn't do it, we couldn't do everything and make the story work. But none of these other stories that we were discovering were thrown away. These were stories that we are keeping for future stories. Because the world itself is we want to make a few more games. To tell the full story of the world of the Deadwood. We have a few little hints in there for future stories as players will play the game, especially at the end as well. They'll get a little taste of what's ahead.
Oh, cool. I love that. This has been quite a challenge. I enjoy the challenge of the game. I'm glad that there's not much hand-holding with the challenge. It's just, here's nighttime, here's your horde, go. I really kind of enjoy that.
I'm guessing at some point you'll be able to tell Rogar to stay, and he won't just run into the barricade. And he'll also have pathfinding where if he does go after something, he'll be able to go around that. He obviously has pathfinding already. It's just the barricades aren't calculated as part of that yet. So.
Yeah, of course.
So he's just doing a treadmill workout there. So he's cool.
Well, it's leg day for Rogard.
Yeah.
That's all.
Good running man.
You could scavenge your barricade as well if you want, and that will free him.
Yeah, no worries. No,
He's
I'm
good
setting
for
up the
workout.
Rogard's playpen right now. This is his home for today.
Yeah, you will be able to repair barricades as well. So like if they're taking damage, you'll be able to go come and actually use some wood to repair the barricades before they come down.
Oh yeah, cool.
I was actually in our
There it is.
GDC prototype and
You win?
hasn't made it into this one yet. But
Did you win?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, did we talk about the spaceship? I mean, you
No.
will be able you'll be able to get a spaceship as well. You can fly around. No, I'm kidding.
Like, whoa, what
Welcome
did I
back,
miss?
Giant.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
I like how he walks in. We're like, yeah, the
So you're gonna
spaceship.
fight the wood alien hordes and
Yep.
starfight and all that? Wow. You're going places that nobody has gone before. You feel more confident about your current build of
We'll see once night hits.
Okay, I just remembered the one question that I also like to ask all the developers. What's your favorite thing in the game right now, currently?
Favorite
Start,
thing
Julio?
in general?
Your favorite thing?
In the game,
Yes.
for me, I would say, my favorite. There's no one thing. I mean, the one thing that not surprised me, but it's a pleasant surprise. It's been amazing because I'm going to tell you guys this little story. A week before PAX, we lost the whole world that we were building. We lost the whole map that we were making for PAX.
Oh wow.
And it was a user error. It was we did one mistake, and so we had to rebuild the whole thing in 1 week. Everything you're looking at right now, we had to build this in 1 week. And we had not even seen, because about 3-4 months ago we did a full-on revamping of our art direction, and I can let Adam talk about that. And we wanted to go in a new direction. Maybe Adam can give you guys a little run through that as well. And what it was is we hadn't really seen, because we had an idea of what we wanted it to look like, and so we were redoing all of our assets to follow the new art direction, but we had not seen it all come together. And honestly, we saw it come together a day before PAX, and
wow.
that's when it all came together, and it showed that we planned it well enough for it to get to a place where it was. And we do still have changes, improvements to make, but that was probably the one thing that made me really, really happy was the way it looked, and it worked out in the end. We lucked out. But maybe Adam can talk a little bit about the direction we took.
yeah, I think that you kind of hit on what I was going to say, which was it was a pleasant surprise to see that all the art came together like it was planned. We didn't like the water effect, for example, which Julio Andrew those hand animated those, and that was something that I'd only seen in Photoshop.
Last day, yeah.
Just elements, just individual pieces, like just little, and we hadn't actually seen it all, actually on the water yet. And how did that work with, the speed tree stuff and the textures and the lighting, like all the stuff was just, we had ideas of where we were going to go visually, but it wasn't until the very end that we got to see it come together. So that I was glad to see that, because that was definitely, we started out as something, I think it was closer to like a Warcraft or a Torchlight. Like, we would do all the work in texturing. Like you would just painstakingly, paint each character model and each tree, and really try to get all the details in there in the texture work. And what we found, especially with we're working in Unity, and Unity 5's got, and Keith could probably talk more about this, but there's a physically based lighting system, so it allows the lighting to do a lot more of the heavy lifting. So we try to use some of that to kind of create hopefully a more painted look than what we were getting before, which we're still working on. We got a lot of work to do on it still. Even the water, there's a few more levels we want to add to that to really hone him in. But even at this early stage, I think we're pretty happy with how it's coming out.
So this is on Unity 5 now?
Yeah, we've been on the beta for a while. I think the Unity 5 actually is out now, but
Yeah.
we've been on the beta for I don't know how long, Keith.
Are you muted, Keith? Yeah, I think he's muted.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been on since it was publicly available to the people that had purchased Unity 5. And we're actually, to tell you the truth, we're still on the beta. We're scared to move over to the full one until we get past Kickstarter. So,
Yeah.
He was terrified to move to the real thing before PAX.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
so we had to redo all these systems. Yeah, we had a playable prototype, and when we switched to Unity 5, having to go through all the stuff again. I know, Keith, that must have been frustrating for you. It's like, hey, didn't we do this already? It's like, oh yeah, we got to, like the interface, for example. We had it working, but the Unity 5's got a whole new interface system that we wanted to get on board with.
Wow.
We went through a similar growing pains when they brought they added that animation system. What was that called, Keith?
Mechanim.
Or something?
Mechanim? Yeah.
Yeah. So when they added that, it was like, all right, let's get our animation on that system, and we had something working, but we had to redo it to make it, on the newer technology. So I think this is it now. Unity 5 is we'll ship with that now.
Yeah. I think this is actually the first game we've had on the show that's been on Unity 5, but you can expect to see that more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're actually the third developers I've talked to today that are talking about how much they've been enjoying the new Unity and just all the different kinds of stuff you can do even over the old Unity, which is cool.
Yeah, even like the speed tree additions that they added to. Like, we wouldn't have been able to create this world without the speed tree integration.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
You're so close, man. You're so close.
Just run and keep pressing enter.
Yeah.
Do you want me to help? You want me to press enter?
Just spam it for me?
I'll just press enter while you keep going.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun when you start having like stuff like the turrets, and you can place the turrets in strategic places so that they can support you in the fight, against these Deadwood.
Yeah.
Or when you have a little
Enter.
decoy.
Oh!
It was just before daytime.
No!
Oh, jeez.
Or better weapons will help too. Oh no.
Should have taken
Yeah,
you
like
out
we had
of
a
that
shotgun in here. We took a
And
shotgun
now
in the
Lake
lab.
is dead as well.
Yeah, there he is.
It keeps playing even after that screen pops up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
That's
the
cool.
shotgun. The only thing about the shotgun that wasn't working was the fact that it wasn't hitting multiple enemies. So it wasn't really acting as a shotgun, but everything was working. The animation was there, the effects was there. It just was acting as just a stronger pea shooter. So we took it out for the demo. But you're gonna have a shotgun that can blast multiple zombies right in front of you, which is awesome.
That's cool. So one of the things I love hearing that you guys have been saying all the time is all these grandiose plans that you have for the game, which means that we would love to have you back on the show every time you have like a major update.
Oh yes.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, just
That'd be great.
I want to play more.
Well, then
So-
we will be
We're
sending
hoping
you
for
a build every time we have a new build.
That would be lovely. That would be great.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because we are close to a lot of stuff. Like the turret, we have. I mean, everything's been animated and textured, and it's right there. I think, except for the AI, right, Keith? It's just one of the things. There's just not quite enough time to get it in here for this, and so a lot of the stuff is, a lot of assets have been made that aren't in here right now. So
Yeah,
hopefully we'll have a much beefier beta later in the year.
yeah, definitely. But this is already running very nicely. Like, it's very, very playable, and it's a lot of fun, which I think is the most important thing. There's a huge amount of fun factor out of this out of the playable demo.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to find the fun, which is the most important part of the game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm missing the frustration. See, I'm a Dark Soul player. I'm gonna add some frustration as the I need that. If you play Deadwood and you haven't destroyed 3 joypad, this is not successful.
I got the perfect idea. So what we're gonna do is that you're gonna introduce the same mechanisms that what's it called, Daylight has for like
Oh, yeah.
Twitch for a Twitch audience.
Oh,
So
yeah.
except this time the Twitch people will control both the zombies and Rogar.
Having
So like Twitch plays Rogar. That's how it's gonna be. So
be
they'll
awesome.
just let him kind of walk away and do something. Or like you'll set up a nice area for him and you'll just like smash through to walk away.
That would be actually really interesting. That would be really, really, really difficult to build, I think.
Would you be able to do a multiplayer
Like
version of
local
this
multiplayer?
game, except like one player plays Rogar, the other one plays Lathe?
I need to punch something right now. No, it's we joke about it, and Adam is probably thinking the same thing. It's the game is so story driven. It's so much about their friendship, and so much about Rogard needs to, Rogard is like the conduit to the story, and as you're playing it, there's stuff that he'll be doing, and so we don't want to take that away by forcing a co-op. I completely agree. Having two players playing, one playing Rogard and one playing Lathe would be a lot of fun. But we did talk about maybe having an arena version where you might have like Keith called it like a couch buddy. Just come in and
couch co-op.
Couch co-op, just play, but maybe not in the main story, because I feel like it's so story driven. Adam, maybe you want to add to that.
Well, no, we talked about it in the beginning. Like, we actually started out as we wanted to be a 4-player co-op game, and once we made the move to story, I think we stripped everything down. But we did have a discussion about Rogar, like, well, let's make him playable. And during the day, that absolutely could be, he could, the other player could help do what he's doing now for you. But the nighttime, it was all right. Well, he's going to fall asleep. He becomes the objective at night, so that's not very fun for the second player. And felt like it would feel like an add-on, like. Oh yeah, you can help out, but the nighttime you gotta sit it out. Like what do you do then?
I don't mind that. I think that'd be pretty.
Yeah, and we actually at the very beginning when we were doing when we started Deadwood, we actually had a best friend, Leif's best friend. His name was Jed, and I actually fully animated Jed. He's fully animated. You can run around with him, and he has his attacks and everything. And we took him out when we decided, nope, that's not gonna work. We'd rather have a story-driven than a co-op game. But we have Jed, so we could still do an arena version with Jed in there.
Oh, not Jed.
Just technically, there's no reason why we couldn't. Like all the characters,
true.
even the zombies are controllable by.
Yeah, they are playable too. Yeah.
They're set up in a way that can be played with the controller. So
Twitch plays
Oh,
zombies.
that's so cool.
we try not to code ourselves into a corner and have technical reasons why we can't make artistic decisions. So
would that be cool if
That
you're
could
playing, let's say you're playing a 5-player co-op where you have 4 players playing as zombies and one playing as a character punching his way through? That would be cool.
Yeah,
it's fun. It was fun for Left 4 Dead playing zombies going after.
Yeah.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, it
Ooh.
wasn't set up very well.
You forgot to press enter.
I had so much stuff too. That was me. Totally my bad.
I was kind of wondering what was going on with the whole one fence by sundown.
Well, I was trying to get more amber because I want mines. Mines are so fun.
Yeah, you want to scavenge resources or kill the zombies during the day to get more amber.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you always spawn at the same place?
At the moment, yeah.
Currently, yeah.
Okay. For future, you'll be randomly spawned.
Well, we're
Checkpoints.
yeah, it'll be checkpoint based because it's gonna be story driven.
Oh right.
But if we have arena battles or things like that, there will be random spawn points or other mechanisms.
You could run to the other side of the board before you get enough time to get to the other side of the
what?
board. So that's a different.
That's what we're gonna do. We haven't explored yet. Let's explore for a day. See where we end up.
And if Rogard is dying, press enter. You're fine.
Yep. I like the Kickstarter sign.
That was Jalil's idea.
The world is so picturesque. I love the water. The water is so... You're right. It's like Wind Waker. It's almost kind of... It's got that cel-shaded, almost Don Bluth-y kind of look to it.
Ooh, Don Bluth, love it.
Yeah, actually, those are actually GUI elements that we're using.
Oh.
Or no, actually, they're the new 2D sprite stuff they added in 4.3, I think. So it's actually 2D sprites from their new 2D engine stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's so much more we want to do to that water. You know, like Adam was saying, there's the flow of the water that's missing right now, and we just didn't have time, you know, right before PAX to do that. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, you can't get up in the cabin yet.
Yeah. I like that little caveat. Oh wow. Look at that. That's
Barrels.
so cute.
Now, will you be able to enter the water?
You won't be able to like swim or anything, but we are going to have like a fast travel system, and we're going to use boats and docks basically to get around. So that'll be an access to, you know, if you need to get to a different region of the world. It is a big world, so obviously we have to have a fast travel, and so, you know, anything with a dock or boat is kind of going to be the way to do that. But it won't be like Wind Waker in that you can get in the boat and actually go out and explore the water or anything.
Could you potentially use the boat as a means for safety for the night?
No, I mean, I think it's more or less just a location that you understand is like, you know, like when you see something again, you're like, oh, that's the safe point. You see that and you go, oh, that's a fast travel point. But it won't be like a way, you won't be able to just get into it and drift off to the, you know, to an island and and avoid the combat. So.
Yeah, I guess what they're asking is that if you see a boat during the night, would you be able to run up to it and hurry and fast travel? I imagine not, because I imagine Lath would say, I can't leave my friend behind, because Rogard would be sleeping, so...
So you can't make him fall asleep in a boat. Darn, there goes my plan.
Well, if he gets in a boat right before night, then you'll be able to travel. But as soon as he lands, he'll fall asleep right there on the dock.
Oh, man. I think we lost Rogard for good.
He'll be fine.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
you that has the problem.
How's it going, big buddy?
Find her in the day. I don't know where he is. He's out gallivanting. Currently, he can't
Just
cross the bridge.
prancing
So
around.
there he is. Yeah, you can't cross the bridge, so you have to take the long way around.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You're going to find those pine trees are going to be your worst enemy here, I think.
Yep.
They're going to spawn in there and just come out of nowhere. So I think, yeah, this is the interesting part about the mechanics of where he falls asleep is where you have to protect. So, you know, like now you're going to get flanked from the tree lines.
Yeah.
But you're putting down mines, so that's good.
Your next tactic is try to get him to stay on the bridge when he
He
falls
can't
asleep.
go on the bridge.
He can't go on the bridge?
That's what they just said that.
Oh, sorry. I'm so focused on you playing the game. Dang.
Yeah, we have talked about making the bridge a little bigger so we could actually cross it. But at the moment, it's uncrossable.
It kind of makes sense. If you think about the logistics of how much Rogard would weigh, I don't know if I'd want to walk on
But
the
he's
same
so
bridge
light
as
on
him.
his feet. Come on. He's like,
Yeah.
it looks like he's doing ballet across.
The weirder thing is that the zombies spawn on the bridge at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they are made
that's
of
the other
wood,
bug.
so I mean...
They magically spawn from the wood. You know, talking about magic, that's one thing that Adam and I were pretty, actually Keith as well, we didn't want the world to be just magical, you know, we wanted things to have a reason to be and a science behind it. Even though there is a mysterious curse, there is a forgotten curse somewhere in there. But, you know, which is the main story, of course.
Yeah.
There is
of
a
course.
forgotten curse, but we forgot where it is.
Where it is, exactly. Actually, we designed like the science behind curses and spells to explain how curses and spells actually work and
Oh, cool.
what is a curse and what is a spell, like how how do you create a spell that you use against a curse, and how does that actually work? And we've actually designed our own, Deadwood science behind curses and spells that you learn while you're playing the game and discovering the story.
Can that be one of the little collectibles? Is like a book of spells versus curses with just a little fluff in there that you find throughout the game?
Hey, it could be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely didn't want to have a world where it was just, magic stuff everywhere. Like, there's certainly plenty of games that do that, and we figure we're going to try to go and do things a little bit differently. So, all of our weapons and stuff are grounded in the mythology of the world, and we didn't want to use magic as like a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you.
No, stop moving! Stop moving! Get back!
Come on.
Yeah, so for,
Can't get you now.
It's like such a perfect place, sort of.
Well, they'll spawn behind him for sure. But he doesn't like it.
yeah.
So, will there ever be a way to prevent spawning in a certain area? Like a magic in that respect?
Well, the Deadwood don't show up as they don't rise during the day. I think right now for this build, we've made it so that they rise, during the day as well, but in a small amount. And in the actual story, the Deadwood only rise at night. But there will be, areas that places where they will be able to rise during the day or or in different times, during the day, and there'll be a reason behind that as well. But the item that you'll have will be able to affect that as well. You'll have an item that, like we were saying earlier, that we haven't announced yet, that works in tandem with day and night, and especially with the sun. Did I answer your question there? What was your question again?
Oh, yeah, whether or not there'd be ways to manipulate when the Deadwood rise.
Or where they
Right.
rise versus
Yeah, exactly. So with that item, you will be able to have a certain amount of control over what's happening. But again, that will be limited as well. So it's not like something you'll be able to do all the time, but it's something that you'll have power over as well. You'll be able to slow them down, or make more rise, or make less rise. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you can totally use this extra hard build. Just make it a DLC called Deadwood Die More Edition.
Yeah.
For all those people, because there will be people, especially Killer Peachy, who will.
I think he's watching,
Yeah,
actually.
I know. Who will find a way to just like destroy the game, just like win, without even
Just
trying.
win.
Just
Because we
wait.
played games where they actually have extra difficult modes that not even the developers have been able to
wow.
beat, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we've seen a couple people already say it was too easy."
Yep.
Yeah.
That's just a natural fact of building games, I think.
Yeah, well, that's why there's speedrunners or speed runs. It's for the people that know every little way to make the game that much easier, or every little glitch or whatever they might use to make the game beatable fast.
Yep. Okay. I'm feeling a little better about this.
I don't know.
Along that note, we've also talked about going the other extreme, just so that our kids, our young kids, would be able to play something like this and still get enjoyment out of it. What did you name it today, Adam? What did you suggest?
Oh, yeah, I was saying kid mode, or even dad mode, because I know my dad's not going to be able to play this, so... So, and it's something that allows you to, like, really scale back the difficulty and make it something that, more or less allows you to experience the story at that point, and, the gameplay itself becomes a walk in the park. We'd have to figure that out, but it's definitely something that we're interested in, because we did get a lot of, I think we were surprised at how many young kids at PAX really, took a shine to the game immediately, just kind of fell in love with the characters, which, was super awesome to see, because, they they don't know the difference between Steamroll Studios and Nintendo. They just see the characters that they like, and they wanna play it because they like what they see. So.
Mm-hmm.
So we are calling ourselves Nintendo 2.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I'll back you up on that.
So,
Don't
our
worry.
difficulty will probably.
We'll hide you from Nintendo's lawyers too. You can
Oh yeah, totally.
Exactly.
Yeah, we actually
Nintendo
got the
2.0.
we got a bit of a unofficial blessing from the Don't Starve guys who were also at PAX. And we let them know they were right across the street from us pretty much, and said, hey, just letting you guys know we're kind of telling people that our game is Zelda meets Don't Starve. So, and they came over and checked it out, and really thought it was cool. So we
They're
haven't
really
seen the
nice
lawsuits
guys.
or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, we haven't seen the lawsuits.
Clay's a
so
cool
we
people.
feel okay with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We've had them on the show once.
Yeah, we had them on once, and we may have them on again eventually. Not saying that it's confirmed, but
They're very busy.
yes, they're very busy. But they did show interest in wanting to show off Don't Starve together.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, we look up to these guys. They have an amazing philosophy in their studio, and it's something that we pride ourselves as well. To have a very strong philosophy. I mean, we all come from these bigger studios where we've learned what works and what doesn't, and we're bringing all that culture to our studio. And when I heard about what they do there and how they treat their employees and stuff, it's awesome. It's something
Yeah.
that I'm very happy about.
Which is nice little vestibule in the world of game development.
Yeah.
So it's not the happiest place to work because so many people want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're growing up as an industry too. Like I think studios are starting to realize it now. I mean, there was a few years ago the whole fiasco of EA and the overtime stuff, and you definitely hear a lot about crunch time, and it's not a sustainable way of running the business. And I think the big guys are starting to figure it out a little bit more now, and so it's cool to see an indie like Clay, kind of set the tone for that and say, we're not gonna kill ourselves. I think they should call it don't be a hero, because it isn't a sustainable way to live, and you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're doing better.
Yeah,
I haven't even
you might
had
have
to-
a set.
Yeah. Rogard hasn't even been hit yet tonight. I had a zombie with no arms or legs latch onto my foot, and I had to hit enter a few times. But Rogard is doing very well.
It's good because you built the fences so far away that they're not really sure who to follow.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna have to break this to you here. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but I think when you press enter, you also heal Rogard.
Yes.
You
yeah,
heal,
that's-
you,
Oh, you know that. Okay.
yeah.
you also heal the zombies as well, though.
Oh, right.
You heal everybody.
That's okay.
It's a very little cheat that I threw in there, and they all inherit from the same thing.
I'm totally fine with that because I have a gun and they
easy.
don't. So
You're just blasting them away.
Yeah, it'd be
So,
different
play
if you were
for
fighting
tonight?
some sort of tank like a zombie, but
yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
No witches, please.
Yeah.
No, dude!
What'd you do?
The
oh
horde,
man,
the horde caught up to me.
So you want to go to the next level?
What do you mean?
Isn't it Till?
No, that just goes between day and night.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
totally. Just go to the next.
At the moment, there's no next level. It's a
Or sorry,
survive
next
as far as you
day.
can.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Next day.
But you can cheat to go to the next day if you want
But-
to.
We have 15 minutes left. So obviously, I'm going to tap into my yet unknown amazing game skills.
Your average gaming Jedi powers.
Yeah.
Nick, look at me. You're going to win.
If not, we'll bring out the tilde key.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, just give me your keyboard, and I'll just keep pressing enter.
Okay.
That'll be out.
That's perfect. We may do
See,
that.
a couch co-op. We got it going already.
Yeah.
One person plays while the other one cheats. That's good.
Well, that's how Duck Hunt went. Come on.
I was
you had
actually-
one person shooting, and the other person making the duck go insane with the D-pad.
I was actually going to say the Sonic when you had Tails. You just have Tails do everything because
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
die.
I never knew that was possible.
Yeah.
You blew my mind, man. Deadwood 2, Deadwood and Tails. Oh wait. Sorry, Lathe and Tails.
You guys are actually the first people we've told about the cheat. We had one person survive the night, but it was like by a very small sliver of health.
Wow.
You were so close the other time.
Yep, I know. I'm impressed. I'm impressed that without cheats. I've not made it close without cheats. Okay, we've got 24 fences right now. 25.
You did it do this. You feel confident?
It's a strong word.
That's a yes or no answer. Your hesitation shows your strength.
So it wasn't Rogar that almost died, or didn't die last time, it was you?
It was me that died last time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I went to go place a mine, and then like 30 zombies just kind of manhandled me into the fence, so... It's okay. Rogar, get back here.
You'd never see that tactic in a movie where they all attack you at the same time.
Nope.
They'll circle you, and then one will fight you at a time.
Yeah. No, but there's zombies. There's zombie hordes. Come here, you big rock buddy.
Yeah, that's the best thing that came out of the whole zombie deal in the past couple of years. Is that they've made it so that it's more realistic in the sense that if you are up against a gang of something, they're not going to wait for one at a time to be beat the crap out of.
This ain't Michael Jackson's Thriller, okay? That's all I'm saying.
There's no dance battles. It's all real. This is real.
Move Rogar. There.
You better trap him in.
Rogar, stop moving!
Enjoy your playpen.
He's like, but I want to go out, but you know what? Actually, the voice for him reminds. I can only picture his voice to sound like in Labyrinth, the big white furred monster.
Ludo?
Yeah.
Pluto? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I picture Rogar's voice to be like.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense because that's like a furry monster versus a rock.
Well,
I'm still going with Rock Rider.
we were thinking more like Gilbert Godfrey kind of a voice.
Oh man, could you please send out that email?
You know, Gilbert Godfrey would probably jump on the opportunity to voice that too.
Very true. Would that be awesome?
Oh yeah.
Hey man!
Yeah, he get fired from. He used to be the Affleck duck, right? And he got fired from it.
Well, that was because of his really poorly timed Japanese tsunami jokes.
Oh yeah, right.
Because Aflac is the largest, if not one of the largest insurance providers in Japan. So that was just bad.
I forgot about that.
Either Gilbert Godfrey or Bobcat Goldthwait. Don't know who that is.
Not
Seriously.
even a little bit.
Oh, if you heard his voice, you'd know. Because he has one of the most recognizable voices in comedy.
Okay. Okay.
Wait. Oh yeah, he was in Police Academy.
He was in the movie Scrooged as well.
Oh.
The guy that gets fired, drunk guy.
You have such a knack for referencing movies that none of our audience is ever going to know.
It's Scrooged! They played on like 17 channels.
Yeah,
during
what was that, like
Christmas.
1982 that movie came out?
No, well, it's a Bill Murray movie, man. If you don't know Bill Murray movies,
Yeah.
you're not relevant. That's how that is.
What's it like being your age? What are you, like 130 now?
I'm 37, I'm
Yeah,
not
but-
old. No.
One of our team members we joke with all the time. She's how old is she? 20. She just told me today, and I already forgot.
20-something.
22, 25. Yeah. Anyway, early 20s, and there's movies that you swear like everybody should have seen, and she's like, haven't seen it, and it's blows us away every time we hear like a new movie. Like, how have you not seen this? And it's just like,
That's,
is the
I'm gonna.
age gap
That
much
is your
now?
homework. You are going to go home and watch that movie.
She's gonna hate me for saying
Yeah.
this because she's right in front of me. But my wife hadn't seen any of the Austin Powers movies until like 2 years ago. Like, just never even watched them. Oh yeah, she just sighed.
See, that's almost forgettable. The movies we're talking about here is like Back to the Future,
Oh my god.
Aliens. Like really, just about any major movie from like the 80s and 90s is like.
Yeah.
Iconic movies. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think I talk to people that haven't seen Aliens. Like, it's a general rule of mine.
Yeah. Indiana Jones, right? Was another one. We'll
Yeah.
reference all these like old movies and
Yeah.
just
Labyrinth. She hadn't seen that.
Labyrinth. Yeah.
I don't talk to people that haven't seen all 7 Police Academies.
Oh dear Lord.
I'm just kidding. That's so dumb.
All right.
Yeah.
So strategy is just to pop him up in the air.
They're getting mighty close.
Yeah, but he's in the air though. See?
Yeah, but when they take out the barricades underneath him, he'll fall down and then they'll attack him.
Oh yeah, right.
Actually, I have a big problem right now because my wife, she doesn't watch very many movies, and when she does watch it, she'll only remember it for about a week before she totally forgets everything.
That's not a problem. You get to watch all your favorite movies every week.
Nope, because once she knows she's watched it, she never wants to watch it again despite not remembering watching it. So
Oh.
it's a bad situation, but I'm dealing with it. I still love her.
That was the sound of my
Enter.
joystick, not my enter key.
You are slightly past halfway.
Oh, this night is not going as well. I'm not getting any amber from killing them. That's what's killing me. Oh, there's some.
So close, man. So close. No,
Move!
close.
Yeah, we don't have a cheat for Amber. For
Oh
resources.
yeah, no problem there. I don't need everything to be cheats. I'll try and do part of it. There we go. Just a little bit more. Come on.
So
many
should we have a
zombies.
mode where Lath is a piece of tofu?
Yes.
Yeah, like the Resident Evil games.
Yeah, that'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
amazing.
I had to finish that up because I didn't want someone would think I was weird. And that's a reference.
No one thinks that.
It's okay. That's Giant's life. It's just making people understand his references. Yeah.
So I watched a lot of movies when I was a kid,
Oh, really?
and it just made it so that I have a better, a better reference
You know-
library.
Going to high school with you, I always kind of related you to the cable guy. Oh, I'm stuck on one. There we go. Come at me, zombies.
Well, I'm just gonna go home now. The bog of eternal stench. God, that is my favorite part in the entire movie. Just because of the farts. All the farts. It just smell.
My 6-year-old daughter just saw Labyrinth for the first time a few days ago, and I think
Oh,
she
wow.
said she's like, "Daddy, this movie is awesome. How come you haven't let me watch it before?" I'm like, "You haven't been interested in it. It wasn't like, I wasn't keeping it from you."
Yep.
She was blown away by it. So that's been awesome hearing her. She came in this morning. She says, "Hello." I said, "Did you say hello?" Hello? And she says, "No, I said hello, but that's close enough." Yeah.
What was I going to say? I think with as much as gaming has helped kind of geekdom become mainstream, I'm sure we're right at the cusp of seeing like the Dark Crystal remake and the Labyrinth remake and the Legend remake, and I just died because I was talking and it was like minutes away from game time. Oh God!
You were there.
Coming up.
You were there. The only thing that I could think of about if there are like remakes of those, that they would probably make them dark and gritty.
Yeah,
I
they
could
would.
do
Like
that.
everything.
Like Labyrinth could be seriously messed up.
I'd actually like to see like a spin-off of the story behind the Goblin King, the way they did like Maleficent or something like that. I think that'd be really neat.
And why he had to wear so much makeup?
No, that was just straight up David Bowie.
David Bowie didn't give us the option.
Okay, look, wait.
Night day, night day, night day, night day. You know what? Labyrinth is the reason that I hate anybody named Toby.
Oh
Nice.
wow,
Oh, Toby.
really? And nighttime. And enter button.
Oh, jeez.
All right, because we've only got a couple minutes left, so we may as well show at least one successful night. And
3 minutes.
daytime! Yay! I made it!
But there's so many zombies.
It's okay. Rogard will take care of that for you.
Yep. Boom! Amazing. Does he just kill every zombie
that's
when he
great.
does his morning stomp?
Yep.
His morning constitutional?
That's his Pilates. It stretches.
Yeah. Oh, where you going, big buddy? That's cool. So I wanted to thank all three of you for being on the show today,
Yes.
and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with Deadwood, because
This is
I
great.
want
This is great so far, and it's
Yeah.
only going to get better. That's for sure.
You've got me on the edge of my
Thank you,
seat.
guys.
Thank you so much, guys. This means a lot. Thank you.
We'll definitely keep you updated.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. We do this for you guys, and I hope you're enjoying it. And if you have any games you guys want to see, you can always email us with suggestions, or just get your friends and developers to email us them themselves. But I think until next time, that's going to be it for us.
Yeah.
So, once again, thank you so much, Steamroller Studios, for being on the show with us and showing off Deadwood. And hopefully we'll be chatting with you guys in the next few months to see if we can get you back on the show.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
it was
problem.
awesome.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And from everybody here at Average Giants and everybody at IGM, I guess much love, and we'll see y'all next time.
Good
See
night.
you guys. Bye.
See ya.